Welcome back to the Chaos, everyone. I'm ChaosEclipse, and today we are back on Ark Survival Ascended. In the previous video, I was talking about settings and everything, and saying I'm gonna have to go back watch my own video to make sure that I know what I had my settings at, things like that. I had the settings in the video, but I didn't have the console commands in the video. So I basically had to look it all up again and figure out what I wanted and all that. Also, just a quick note, there on the left, you can see the Dreadmare that I talked about in the previous video. That is the one that I was saying that would cost you $5 just to even buy it. And you do have to buy it in order to obviously have that mount. But then from then on, I think you can spawn it in the game. You don't have to like cheat spawn it in the game. There's an actual way to spawn it in the game. But you don't have access to that unless you actually buy it. Anyway, so let's go over the settings. We'll go over just the normal settings that I have set up for my game. Obviously, anything I'm telling you guys in this video, this is just settings. Put it on the settings you guys want, mess around with them a bit so that you guys can see what you like, what you don't like, you know, figure it out on your own. Keep in mind, I'm also playing a single player game. I'm on my own game by myself. If you're playing with friends, you might want to take their opinion into consideration. I know everybody's probably laughing at that comment, but you might want to take their opinion into consideration as far as how you want the game set up, whether you want the days to last longer, nights to last longer, whatever. So first things first, we're only going over the island because that's the only one that I have right now. I'll probably have this almost the same settings on all of them, but we'll take a look eventually at the other ones. Right now we're only doing the island. So we go over to game rules. You guys can see here, I'm not going to go over these too much in detail because this is the part that I was talking about that I had on a previous video, which I can put in the comments now, or not in the comments, up on the top right. You guys can see a little card up there, click on that, you can watch the video. But we're just going to quickly go through here and you guys can take screenshots, pause it so that you guys can see what my settings are. I'll scroll through them slowly. I'm not even going to explain anything in here because these are all things that we have went over before. So if you do have any questions about any of this stuff, definitely let me know. Like I said, mess around with these settings yourself. Make sure that you guys have what you want, because some of these things have also been changed since the last time I did play when I made the previous video. So definitely go through here and at least, you know, take a look at what you guys might want as far as how you want to play and go from there. So these are the PvE settings. Here is the PvP, and almost everything, like these numbers, the ones that are like 300 or like the 59, I don't think I changed those, but any of the smaller numbers like this 2 to 6, those are ones that I did change. But obviously you can just pause it here, or even here you can pause it and then take a look at what your current settings are versus what the settings are in my game. And then, like I said, if you're interested as why I have this as like the night speed as a 2 instead of like a 0.5 like the other ones, then just comment down in the comment section and let me know what you guys think. I will say in the previous video I also did talk about tethering. Tethering is not a part of the PS5 anymore, like they just took out the option completely. It didn't really work in the other one anyway, so I wouldn't really worry too much about it because anything you change, it didn't change anything at all. If you guys are looking at trying to do a multiplayer game and not have tethering, then honestly, this sounds dumb, but I did it with my PS4 just because I had 2 PS4s at one point. Long story, I don't even talk about it. But anyway, I had 2 PS4s at one point. I basically used one PS4 to run a non-dedicated server down here on the bottom right, and then I played the game with friends on the other one. So I left the other PS4 on the entire time so they had access to it whenever they wanted to. So if you have 2 PS5, if you're fortunate enough to have that, you can do that. I know the PS5 Pro came out, so if you guys have a PS5, maybe you can put it on the PS5 and then play the game on the Pro. Or you guys can also buy servers, which I'm not saying anything about that. I didn't change any of these engrams, so I'm not even going to show these engrams. But yeah, you guys can definitely take a look at that, and you know, if you want to buy the server, then go for it, but I'm not like trying to advertise for them or anything. All right, so we're going to jump in the game here. We're going to go over the settings that I didn't really show the last time, but before we do that, I want to take a look around the world and show you guys the things that are going to change. So we talked about the clouds and like the fog and everything. First of all, we're going to run here in the water. I want to show you guys what it looks like underwater. Keep in mind how cloudy it is down here. You can't really see anything past like the little reef right there. Looked like I saw something out there, but I don't really want to go and check. And then we'll run up here in the woods a bit so that you guys can see like the fog and the trees and everything. We run up here, which right now, like I said, I think it has been optimized since the game first released, so it's not too bad. It does seem a little bit cloudy, but I mean, that's just like natural. And then I do have like the light shafts turned off, so you can't really see like the rays coming through. I mean, you kind of can, but not like the way I think it's intended. But they are very blinding, I will say that. So, but yeah, so that's the fog there. Like I said, it's not too bad because they did optimize it, but it was horrible when it first released. So now we can go over the command settings, which, like I said, I looked at my videos. I couldn't find one. I swear I did one on it, though. Maybe I accidentally deleted the video. I have no idea. But it doesn't matter. I already did the research, found the commands I want to use and everything, so we're going to go over that. So first of all, like I said, we're on PS5, not the Pro, just regular PS5. We have to access the command or the console command. In order to do that, you have to turn it on. So we're going to hit the options button. You're going to go down to settings, and then you're going to go to advance. And right here where it says console access, you want that to say on. So we're going to hit X there. We're going to save. And then I will show you that in a second. We'll go back in a second, but in case I changed anything here, I just want to show you guys these ones real quick. I don't remember changing anything in here. Well, actually, I guess I did because I know I turned off motion blur. There's the light bloom I turned off, the light shafts. Oh, the light shafts are still on. Okay, well. VSync mode is currently on, which I don't think that was even an option before. So there's not as much screen tearing. Maybe that's one of the things I probably don't have to go over because I was going to show you how to VSync in the console command. I can still go over it. I don't know if it'll do anything since it's actually in here now because I don't think it was in there before. You guys can take a look at these. If you guys have a hard time seeing your screen or whatever, you guys can turn up, you know, your item slots there to at least be a little bit bigger for you. But like I said, I'll scroll through here a little bit slow. I can't go too slow because it's a joystick, obviously, so it's a little bit hard to do. So scroll down some and then stop, and then you guys can either pause the video or screenshot it or whatever you guys want to do, and then go back and look at whatever you want. And then there are the camera settings. One of the main things I always turn off is this camera view bob, which I hate. I hate any game that has any type of bobbing in there. I also turned off the camera shake and then motion blur. Those are the three main things that I hate in video games. Don't get me wrong, the camera shake usually isn't too bad depending on like how bad the camera shakes. But for me, first person games, it doesn't make me nauseous or anything, but it's just really annoying if I'm trying to look at something and I can't see it because the camera's, you know, all over the place. And then obviously if you guys are having trouble with your PS5 controllers dying and stuff, you can turn off the vibration and all that. But there's some more settings for you. And then we're not going to really go over control just because I don't ever mess with like changing anything in there. All right, so after we went to advance, we turned on the console access. We hit save. You're going to hit circle for back. Now you can see down here in the bottom left, it says console command and it shows a touchpad button. So we're going to hit the touchpad and it gives you this screen. This is how you will change everything in your game. So before we do anything with that, we're going to take a look up in the sky. You can see all the clouds and everything. Like I said, those are a lot of particles. Even if it's not really messing with your game too much, I guarantee you it is probably a little bit more than you think. So first we're going to take a big old poop here. Nice. Then we're going to go back in the game. We're going to hit console command. And we're going to do our first command. Our very first command is not needed, but I want to see for myself and for you guys how much it actually does help or change. So we're going to do stat, S-T-A-T, space, F-E-S. So we're going to look at the stats for the frames per second. We're going to hit R2 for done, which is down here, or you can just click on done, but I'm just going to hit R2. And then in the top right, well, kind of center-ish top right, you can see our FPS there. So our frames per second, we're only getting 34, 35-ish. It does show the VSync is on, which, like I said, that wasn't a thing before. So you can see our frames there per second. I'll try to zoom in on that so that you guys can see it. Our next command, we're going to go back in, hit that touchpad button. One of the things that, like I said, that's big is the clouds. So that's going to be the first thing we're going to do. So we're going to do R dot volumetric cloud. So there's going to be two C's in there, which is weird because there's not two E's, because volume and then etric. But volumetric, well, I guess volumetric, yeah, I'm an idiot. Volumetric is a word. Anyway, volumetric cloud, and then space 0. This will remove the clouds completely. Now, you might still see some up in the sky, but they're going to be skybox. They're not going to be moving around or anything. So we're going to hit R2 to go ahead and accept that one. There you go. All the clouds are gone. Now, it does still look blurry in the distance and everything, but as you can see up in the top right, our frames per second went from 34, 35 up to 51, 52. So that is a huge one right there, just by itself. Now it does look a little bit weird because you're used to the clouds and stuff, but I promise you this will greatly enhance your game. You know, it's going to be better for you, I promise. It might look weird right now, but as you're playing, you're not going to really be using the clouds for anything anyway, so it'll work for you guys. One of the other things before we actually get into some of the other settings here, let me go back up in the woods here real quick. It's up that way. So you guys see how tall some of these grass things are when you're in first person? Like this normal grass, not the ones that I can pick up, the normal grass here. These blades of grass are like up to my face because I'm in first person. If you're in third person, it doesn't look too bad because, you know, the clouds will be, or the camera's kind of up behind you. But some of these are just like ridiculously tall. I'm not counting the bushes because the bushes, I don't think we're really going to be able to do anything about that. But for the most part, just the grass is pretty high. There are some areas where, oh, what am I hearing? I'm hearing deadly things all over the place. Something's hissing at me. So I don't think this was a good spot to show the grass, but I mean, you guys can see it though, how tall this grass is. There's no need for it to be that tall. So that's one of the things that we're going to take a look at too. I just want to show you guys how tall it is before we change it. Let me see if I can find a little more grassy area. No, I don't think down there is really going to show much. We can look though. Go take a look. Jump off here. Hopefully there's nothing deadly down here. Alright, yeah, this isn't really even grass. This is just like little tiny bushes everywhere. Okay. Anyway, I'll show you the grass. So the main grass is going to be, like I said, the really tall ones that are like up in your face. That looks like the normal grass blades, like these ones. So I'll stand right here while we do this one. I don't think this one's going to help too much with your FPS, but I think overall it's going to help just the way the game looks in general. So we're going to hit the options button again, touchpad, and then we're going to go in here to, we're going to type in grass. Or no. Wait. Yeah. Grass dot size scale. Oops, if I could spell right. And we're going to do space 0.5. And then we're going to hit R2 to go ahead and accept that. Now you can see there the bigger grass. This was the blade that was up to my face. It's so much smaller now. The bushes, like I said, they will not change. But this looks more like Ark evolved a bit. Like the grass isn't as tall as it was before. It will take away a little bit from, you know, the immersion of it. I guess it did change some of the smaller bushes, but I don't think any of these are, yeah, these are not lootable, that's why. But as for the immersion, if you guys want it a little bit taller, maybe you can go with like a 0.9 or a 0.8, something like that. But like I said, just mess with these settings on how you guys want it so that you guys can keep it how you want it. I'm going to go ahead and leave it like that because I do like the way this looks. I didn't even use this one before, but I found it when I was looking up the stuff. Like I said, didn't really mess with our FPS there too much. I'll kind of put it in a little shade there so that you guys can see it. You can also remove the shadows. I'm not going to go over that one though because I like the shadows in the game. It literally just looks like everything is lit up everywhere. And I'm not sure how it looks at night, so I wouldn't really mess with the shadows if I were you guys. But if you're still having frame rate issues, whatever, then you can go ahead and still mess with that. What is that? Oh, I think that's fog. Which will be the next, well, one of the next things we'll go over. We're not going to go over it just yet. Yeah, it's fog rolling in because it's starting to come up over there too. Yeah, fog's a pain in the butt though. That's another big one. So the next thing that we're going to go over is the VSync. Like I said, it's already on, but if you guys, for some reason, if you don't have the setting or if it doesn't show on, you can go in here. You can do r.vsync space 1. Now putting it to 1 is what turns it on. We're going to hit R2. It's not going to do anything. I think it just refreshed it being on. If you want it off for whatever reason, then you can go in there and you can change that setting that I showed you guys under advanced. Was it under advanced? It wasn't. Where was it? Under, actually it was right there. Go back. There. So general tab, video tab, and then right there you can turn it off. Or you can do exactly what I did here in the command thing, the RVSync 1. Instead of a 1, put a 0. Also, if you want your grass size to go back to its normal size, change that back to 1. If you want your clouds back, change that back to 1. The last one we're going to do here is the fog. You can see that the fog has rolled in pretty bad. And you can see our frame rates are, well, our frame rate's not even really affected by it. But we are still going to turn it off because, like I said, I don't like the fog. Like I could be running through here and all of a sudden a raptor just in my face. I don't like that. It looks cool. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind it too much, but I can't do it. I can't do it. So we're gonna go back in. We're gonna remove the fog. So R dot volumetric again. Volumetric. Now this says volumetric cloud. We're gonna delete cloud. We're gonna type in fog space 0. Hit R2, and there you go. Fog is gone. Now the fog is the reason why I showed you guys underwater. So you guys remember how cloudy it was underwater? When you come underwater after removing the fog, you can see everything under the water. So if you don't like that, that's why some people might want the clouds back. But I like that I can see everything. It didn't really give us a boost to our FPS. I think the main thing was the clouds, it looks like. But I still didn't like... let's go ahead and kill this guy. I still didn't like... oh, he got me. I still didn't like the way that it looked though, so that's why I went ahead and removed it, and I will keep it out in future games. So we're going to go ahead and leave it like that, and then I'll show you up here as well, up in the woods, because it removes the fog from the trees and everything too. Like it just takes out the fog completely from the game. So if we come up here, you can see like right there, it was a little bit cloudy and stuff. There's nothing now, nothing at all. And it's awesome. I like it. We are taking a little bit of frames coming into the woods here, but I guess it's probably just because all the foliage and everything. So, but yeah, definitely a lot clearer. I like it. So that is pretty much it for the most part. And then I think if you want to remove the FPS, I think you could just do it again. Also, once these commands are already in your game, like if you had, we'll say this one, the R volumetric cloud, and we had those back on. So let's do that real quick. R dot volumetric cloud 1. That'll put our clouds back in. You can see our clouds are back. That saves in the command console. So if I want to remove them real quick, now I can just select it out of here. So 1 is the one that brought them back in. 0 is the one that removes them. I'll just click on 0, and it takes them back out. Some of these, if your system for whatever reason is having a hard time, some of these might take a while to kick in. So like if you do the shorter grass, or if you turn the grass off completely, because you can turn the grass off completely by putting that to 0 as well. If you turn the grass off completely, keep in mind it's doing it for the entire world that you're in. So it might take a few seconds. So if you don't see the grass disappear right away, stand still, don't move, just give it a couple seconds and it should go away. I say that because if you start moving, it's gonna really lag out your game and it could possibly crash. And I don't want you guys to have crashing games. They'd be like, he told me to do it, now my game's crashing, I don't know what to do. So I'm just letting you know that that is why. And then what I was talking about, if you want to remove the FPS again, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back in here. I hit the wrong button. We're gonna go back in here, touchpad, and we're gonna type in stat FPS again. It should go away, I think. There it goes. Yep. And there you go. So this is how we're gonna start playing the game from now on. I'm gonna continue with our little voyage here. I did make a raft so far, and I haven't gotten any more levels or anything. I literally, well, no, I take that back. I think I got 2 levels when I was making the raft. Oh, I got a lot more than 2 levels. I was like level 20 and I'm already 31. Oh, you know what? I know why. It's because I walked over one of the explorer notes on accident. And I was building the raft, so I was like farming and everything else, and it gave me the levels. But yeah. So, questions, comments, concerns, put it down in the comment section. Thank you all for joining me today. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.